Hello everyone, this is Parents and Joyce. Today we are going to talk about nature versus nurture, nervous system, and neurons. First of all, we are going to introduce nature and nurture in psychological terms. Nature means all inside factors such as DNA and genes. And nurture means all outside factors such as family, friends, or environment. Francis Galton, a psychologist from the UK, had said that nature sets the limits for how far nurture can develop. He wanted to know if alcoholism is hereditary. Alcoholism refers to excessive and maladaptive drinking alcohol. So he did a case study about it by comparing identical twins to fraternal twins. By the way, there is another method called twin study, which refers to an experiment where identical twins are separated and seen if they grow differently. Furthermore, in case you don't know, there are two types of twins. First one is called identical twins, aka monozygotic, which means there is only one egg that was fertilized and then split it into two. So these twins share 100% of genetics. The other one is called fraternal twins, aka dizygotic, and there are two eggs that was fertilized. The twin is just like normal siblings but born in the same day, so they share 50% of DNA. The study found that monozygotic twins were more likely to show similar behavior regarding alcohol consumption, suggesting a strong genetic component.
So overall, twin study is an experiment where identical twins are separated and seen if they grow differently. He wanted to know if alcoholism is hereditary by comparing identical twins to fraternal twins. The study found that monozygotic twins were more likely to show concordance regarding alcohol consumption, suggesting a strong genetic component. And next, the nervous system, which is made up of billions of cells called neurons, which we're going to discuss the details later. It's divided into two main parts, the central nervous system, CNS, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS. CNS is the brain and spinal cord, and PNS carries information to and from the brain. Sometimes it will act by itself without signaling the brain. And these reactions are called reflex, which its signals reach the spinal cord, and the spinal cord sends a response before the brain receives the information. And then introducing the three main parts of the brain. The first, the brainstem, which it helps in our basic survival, such as our heart rate and breathing. And second, the cerebellum, which it's also called the little brain, controlling our muscular movement balance with sensory information. And third, the cerebrum, which controls our thinking, judgments, and planning. And then introducing a band of nerve fibers called corpus callosum, connects two hemispheres of the brain, the left hemisphere controlling the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere controlling the left side of the body. Hemispheres of the brain, which they're divided into four lobes / part. First, the frontal lobe in the front and controls the thinking, planning, and judging. And the second, occipital lobe in the back and controls the vision. And third, the temporal lobe, which is in the left, right sides of the brain, controlling the hearing and the speech. And last, the parietal lobe, which is across the top of the brain and it helps in our sensation. The brain controls action that you choose to do called voluntary actions, which it means you are able to control if you want to do it or not. For example, like eating, talking, and walking. And on the other hand, the brain also controls actions that you can decide, called involuntary actions, which means you cannot stop or start this action by your conscious. such as digestion, heartbeat, etc.
Lastly, what are neurons? Basically, neurons send messages across the body. There are three different types of neurons. The motor neurons, about movement, it's a nerve cell that transmits impulses from the brain or spinal cord to the muscle or gland. The sensory neurons is about senses. It's a nerve cell that carries impulses from the sense receptor to the brain or spinal cord. And lastly, the relay neuron is the nerve cells that connects sensory and motor neurons. Next, we are going to talk about basic parts of a neuron. Soma, axon, axon terminal, nucleus, dendrites, myelin sheaths, and nodes of Ranvier. Finally, there is an example that illustrates a full process of how the nervous system works. First, there is a message that enters the neuron through the dendrites and goes directly to the cell body. Then the message will travel along the axon as an electrical impulse, and the message continues from one neuron to the next, carrying the information to the brain. Next, the brain decodes the signals as a sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or other sensation. And then the message moves from the brain through nerves and out to the body. As a result, you will feel pain in your toe.